Welcome back, family. This is your boy ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, that just simply means, and hey, I got one of my favorites. This is for project managers. I'm always talking about the growth mindset, but today's episode is how do you develop self development? Again, how do you develop self development? I'm going to give you my 7-step framework for developing self development. But let me set the stage first before I go into my 7-step framework. First of all, self development is really the ability to take initiative to create purposeful pur- purposeful steps. You see, I had to sound that out. Purposeful steps to improve one's hard and soft skill set. The reason why I truly believe is important is because as a project manager, as you're growing, you want to be able to grow with project management. You want to be able to take certain courses and leverage certain seminars and webinars and training because it's going to be important to you. So let me go over my 7-step framework for actually improving, or I should say developing your self-development. First one, setting goals. If you don't set goals, anywhere will work. Ooh, did you just say that, ED? Yeah, I said that. If you don't set goals, anywhere will work. If you were to step into my business office, I have probably right now, I think I have 4 whiteboards, nothing but my goals and my routine in place to be successful. I'm not waiting for someone for a handout for someone to help me be successful. I'm not waiting for the right time or the perfect moment. That's why I like this book by Chris. The book is called Start Ugly. And a lot of times we don't want to set goals because we believe it's too audacious or we believe it's too big. We will never be able to do that. And then once we do it, we're like, ooh, I dream too small. So, family, I want to let you know set goals. It would be perfect. It fits you as a project manager because you already know a specific time and a measurable goal, and you are responsible for achieving your due date. Let's step into my framework number 2. You need to identify areas of improvement. Honestly, step back, take your headphones off. Don't shut off this video until you finish watching it, though. But you need to identify, take an honest assessment of yourself of where you're at, where are some areas of opportunity for you. I hate using the word weakness. That's why I use the word areas of opportunity because you need to know what are some things you can get stronger at. I always recommend, regardless of how many years of experience you do or don't have, keep practicing the fundamentals. That's what I do. I mean, every day is part of my routine. I study the 49 processes. I want to be able to articulate the 10 knowledge areas, the process groups, and the 49 processes. So every day on my whiteboard, my goal Monday through Friday is to be able to uh, to type out or write out the 49 processes. So again, being able to identify areas that where you can improve on, and I always say start with the foundation because the foundation will never let you down as far as learning the basics. You need to develop a plan. I know you're going to get tired of me saying this, but I'm going to say it again. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So setting a plan and stop making negotiations. Stop negotiating with yourself. If you said on Saturday, I'm going to film my first YouTube video on Saturday. When Saturday shows up, you need to go and execute. Don't make excuses because when you start making excuses, then with the goal that excuse me, the plan that you put in place is null and void. So now you just out here all as my granny would say, you all out here willy nilly with no goals and no dreams. She was a trip, but I loved her. Anyway, but yeah, you have to make sure that you stick with your plan and don't break your plan because it will really, just actually build a project schedule just like if you were building one for your work related items. My favorite, and you already know which one I'm going to say, learning continuously. This is if you're paying attention, we're in part 4 of the framework, step 4 of the 7-step framework. learning continuously. You have to be a life learner. And if you're not a life learner, I promise you, and maybe I probably shouldn't say that. That's too bold of a statement. You know what? I'm that confident. If you don't continue to learn and grow yourself as a project manager, you will get left behind. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Chat GPT. A lot of project managers are running away from it. Like, I don't need that. Oh boy, you just don't understand. Learning, you need to be able to learn each tool. Because you know what's so interesting, family, is that um, being in project management for more than a decade, I've worked at various organizations, whether um, as an employee or a consultant. And what I've learned is that there are different tools out there. For instance, I've worked in tools where I've leveraged Monday.com, I leverage Asana, I've leveraged Jira, I've leveraged well, I should say Confluence, Microsoft Project, Smart Sheets. Like I have to continue to learn these things because when you go into an organization, this may be what their template is. This is what the PMO uses. They may just use Microsoft Project, but you may go to another organization where their thing is Smart Sheets. So you have to be someone that is continuously willing to learn and being honest about your learning ability. Don't rest don't rest on your laurels because I tell you, you will get lapped. Number 5 in the framework, seek feedback. Now, I was a little hesitant to put that in my framework to you guys, family, because sometimes all feedback is not good feedback. You have to make sure that the feedback that you're seeking is from a source that has your best interest at heart. Now, the question is how are you going to know that? Well, unfortunately, sometimes you're going to know by the feedback they give you, or you're going to know by their actions on a day-to-day basis because you're working with them, or you're going to know because this person may have been through where you're actually going through now, so they can give you some education on that. And if they do, make sure that you take heed to it. Now, I remember growing up, it was so funny. I was just having this conversation with my nephew. And I was saying, certain things that I learned that my mother and my father taught me I'm just now using some of those things, and it just didn't make sense at that time. But I kept it in my memory, and so all of a sudden I was able to pull it out. So again, family, being able to seek feedback, and I hate using the word constructive because when I think of constructive, uh, I don't think that aligns with feedback. I don't want constructive feedback. I want feedback that makes sense for the direction and the direction I'm going with my career. So you have to really, when you're seeking feedback, it's somebody you truly have to trust, because if you don't trust them, the feedback really doesn't matter. Number 6, practice self-reflection. What does that mean, ED? Basically just taking time to just look over your career, your life, and seeing, hey, because sometimes, family, we can get so, we get so excited from jumping from project to project. So sometimes we forget to just do this. Well done. Well done. Because we don't hear that a lot. If you're an exceptional project manager, your mission is to make everyone else look good. And sometimes, and I hate to admit it, the majority of times, you're not looked at as far as someone that is making people look good. And you have to speak up and show your work, show them what you got. But just taking that self reflection is key. And the last and final step, I'm gonna have to borrow from Eric Thomas. Execution is worship. Execution is worship. But my step for the last step of the 7 step framework is take action. Execute, baby. Execute. Execution wins. I don't care. Even if you don't know, go anyway. Just start. Just go get started. I know you don't got everything. Just go anyway. Why? Because as you're going, as you're moving through the process, as you're going up the stairs along the way, you'll be able to learn what you need to learn because you'll start getting engaged in certain and different areas. So when you go learn something, as I always say, go apply it. When you have the ability to work through your goals and things like that, make sure that you are taking actions to actually achieve your goals. So, family, I hope you enjoyed today's video. This has been your boy ED. Until next time, I'm out.